Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am with one of my amazing friends who happens to be a life coach and a holistic healer. She has helped hundreds of people in their lives with her amazing tips related to how you should cope with crisis and what to do to ensure that you're happy and psychologically sound, even when things around you are not going so well. So today she is with us in the podcast to help us understand how we can improve the quality of our lives when we are home quarantining and being just with the families, or for the people who don't have their family living with them, they are just living alone and trying to cope with the new way of life. So, hi Kim, how are you?
Hi, Nousheen. I'm good. Thank you for having me on the podcast today.
You're most welcome, and I'm very, very happy. We happened to talk about all these challenges before we started the podcast as well, because we understood that we are both struggling with helping our kids understand that there is no outdoor game anymore, and they cannot go to school to meet with their friends. So I will ask him first up about uh, tips for moms who have children at home and they are trying to make all kids happy at the same time while they need to take care of their work responsibilities from home and take care of their home and understand that there is no more any going out for anybody. So Kim, what are the few things that women like us with children at home can do to make life good for children?
Absolutely. Nousheen, everyone is appreciating, and very rightfully so. We should appreciate everyone on the front line, the doctors and nurses, and everyone taking care of things, right up front. But the other aspect of people on the front line back home is more than often the mums, the grandmoms, and, the ladies taking care of the house. The reason being is that everything is, in terms of a setup, is completely changed. Now, in this time, change, years back in college, we learned that change is the only thing that is constant. And the sooner we adapt to change, the easier we can, adapt to new ways, the easier we can grow, and the easier we allow a life to be, stress free. So for the moms out there, or any, sometimes it's the grandmothers, like in my house, my child's grandmother, my mother-in-law has that massive role of putting everything together. The first thing is to set your own schedule right. And that again, when we relate it back to all the other aspects of self-love, when you have your own schedule in place, we will not be overwhelmed by the changes around us. So that means ensuring that you're getting up at a time that ensures that you have enough of time to, probably do your morning routine, do a little bit of yoga, a little bit of deep breathing, a little bit of meditation, if that's what you do, having your own breakfast, your coffee, your tea, whatever that is, and then getting on with the day. The second aspect that really helps is to allow each person in their house to have their own space. Now, irrespective whether a person lives in a studio apartment or a one bedroom or a larger apartment, even if everyone has a little space on their sofa, that area is mine, and the other corner is the husband's or the child's, everyone can have their own spot to go and relax, go and read, go and be on their phone or their iPad, watch some music, watch some movies, or whatever it is. Because when we keep those spaces assigned, there is no overlapping or stepping on one another's feet. Because more than often, when someone is at work or school, people have access to the entire house. But when that 5 minute conversation time is taken out and said that, okay, fine, I'm going to be working from home at this time. If, say, the lady says that of the house, so I need this aspect. So let's have that agreement that during this time, give me my space. If the children are studying from home, and which all of them are studying in Dubai at least, where there's online learning, in that case, we need to already keep that section aside out for them only for studying. So in this time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how long we're going to be in isolation, if everyone has their own positions, that that pre-time of just finding your space, finding your comfort is taken care of. Similarly, if we would have gone to an office and if every day we would have to look for our space and then do up our table, it would cause unnecessary anxiety. So we take that same we relate that same aspect back home and say everyone have their own space. So the second is you have your own space, everyone in the house. The first is the person who is holding everything together, have your own routine. Because
Right.
when you've taken care of yourself, it's easier to, army a house of
Mm.
everybody that is happening there.
Yeah.
The third aspect that I would say is this is such a fabulous time. I mean, yes, there's so much of change, there's so much of fear, there's so much of anxiety outside, but this is such a good time to role model behavior for our family, for our children, to say that yes, there is change
Do you
outside.
think that when we say that there is so much of anxiety and so much of fear outside, is it important for each individual to understand what they are afraid of? Like the feeling of fear might have a different meaning for a teenager and an
Yes,
entirely different meaning for a mom and a very
absolutely.
different meaning for somebody who's a grandparent. So
Yeah,
I personally believe when you mentioned it that there is a whole lot of anxiety and fear outside, my first thought was to share this with you and obviously for everybody else that it's very important for us, for each individual, to sit down with themselves and recognize what they're afraid of. Like I'm not afraid of anything. I might be a little bit anxious because there are too many changes. Like everybody is at home all the time. but but the fear of illness is something that is not very big. As long as we are all at home, we are safe. As long as we are not
exactly.
into any social communication in
Interactions.
person, we
Yes,
are safe. So that is one thing we don't have that to be afraid of. We are safe now. I believe that with all the commercial activity closed, we are now compelled to stay at home. And I'm sure everybody has stocked whatever they needed for next 12, 15 days. So that even cuts down your going out for your groceries. So that makes you even more safer. So there is no fear on that part. When it comes to financial aspects for adults, there might be
yes,
fear about how they're going to earn more. And that's where online communication, like you and I are doing right now, comes in. So everybody may make use of all those free apps that are there to combat this fear of financial problems, this fear of lack of
right.
communication. So these two fears are also taken care of. In your opinion, Kim, now, which is the fourth fear that anybody could have?
So before I went to the go to the fourth fear, Nosh, it's important that people understand that fear is more than often a reaction that we've learned um, as a conditioning. So there are some people that, like you very correctly said, the different age groups will have a different fear because we've learned to fear in that age group. An adult who is the who's the earning member of the house is programmed to worry about how am I going to earn. Where is are we going to get paid salaries, or if they're doing something that is a sale base, is my sales going to happen? Like you said, a teenager or a younger toddler is just fearing that, oh, I can't play with friends, or what are my friends saying, what am I doing, all of that aspects that's coming into play. But when you take a step back and understand where does fear really come from, fear is just in the most simplest way is just about uncertainty. We just don't know what to expect, we don't know what's next. And if we just
Yeah.
understand that the reality of life is it is uncertain, nobody
Hmm.
knows what's coming in tomorrow, nobody knows what's to be next. And that is where the centering, that is where the meditation, that is where awareness comes and says, okay, this is very different from normal day, but this
Yeah.
is still as per the rule book that nothing is really certain. So if
Hmm.
we take that realization and say, okay, fine, it's something new, it's something different, but it is still normal life because that is the rule, change is constant. Move it aside. What can I do best in this?
Yeah.
When that perception changes and that
So,
jump happens,
yeah.
it automatically changes the vibration. Now, why am I saying that? Is each of us, depending on what emotion we function from, there is a frequency of energy that we create. It's called the vibration in the energy world. So fear is a very low vibration. The minute we say, okay, I'm ready to see what I can do about this, we automatically jump from low vibration to the middle range, which is willingness, which is adaptability, which is reason. And because of that, we automatically are open to go to a higher vibe. So and all of that just comes with a tiny shift in perception. So it is
Right.
very important at this time that irrespective of what is the age group, whoever is the leader of the house, sometimes it's a grandparent, sometimes it's the mother, sometimes it's the father, sometimes it's even the kids, whoever is that leader in that house takes on the role to model how we want to behave in this time. How are we taking this time? Because if people are in the house for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, that's almost as much the time it is to reprogram and set a new habit. We've all known that to set a new habit, it takes around 21 days. I think almost all of us are going to be at home for 21 days. So each house took that time and said that, okay, we've been blessed with 21 days to reprogram everything we do. Let's do it. Some fears are real, like you said, the financial fears, the health fears. That's where communication helps. Because when you start communicating, you realize that there's not much base in this fear.
Mhm.
We're taking care, we have, we're doing all the things that we've been advised to do. So good. This fear can be boxed and kept at the side. I don't need to be, continuously living in that fear.
Yes, yes.
the the other aspect, and I think a lot of people have been talking about this, from the energy world, the life coaches, is that this is such a wonderful time to reevaluate. We've all the good things in life, spending time at home, spending time with yourself, reading a book, learning a new skill. It has it, the biggest excuse we've all had is we don't have time. When I have the
Yeah.
time, I'll do it. When I go for a holiday, I'll read the book and things like that. And today, we've been gifted with that
We've
time.
been gifted. Yeah, now we
I
have
mean,
ample time. We can do whatever
exactly.
we
I mean,
want to do,
right.
apart
And
from
we are in a
work.
place. No, we are even in a place where uh, we are gifted because we still have our homes, we still have ACs, we still have the options to order groceries online. So it is a gift. It is a gift of time. It is a gift to sit and start learning stuff. And the beauty of it is that everybody who teaches something online is offering everything for free. So again, the mindset change itself comes and says, okay, these are the list of 15 things that has changed that can benefit me. How am I going to do it? There's this,
Exactly.
after the longest time ever, yesterday in the last few days, and I started updating my LinkedIn profile because someone who is doing this professionally has opened up the gates and says, okay, guys, I'm going to do a 5-day session, and all of you will have a better profile, a more professional one. There is meditation that I am doing from, what is it, for people that are anywhere, people whose families are in Italy, people whose parents are alone at home and they're battling truly, loneliness and fear because they are at home alone. So all these things are getting available at such a massive scale.
Exactly. I see a large stream of knowledge being circulated all over social media, and it's not just one or two channel. I cannot say it's just LinkedIn. It's everywhere. Even
Yeah,
on
it's
Instagram,
everywhere.
everybody's open to sharing knowledge, to help people understand how to cope with the situation, and to please everybody. I see those amazing TikTok videos of fun at home, moms
Yeah,
mimicking some dances to have children participating, so it's all very warming. Like it's fun to do stuff that you can copy.
right.
Even
So
if it is in terms of entertaining yourself, you can still do that.
exactly. I was just discussing at my place right now that, um, and this could probably be the third step, is that this is a good time to remove that gratitude journal,
Yeah,
to get up and say that, okay, in this time, can I find things that I'm grateful for? And there will be things. And again, because it's gratitude, it completely shifts our energy from fear, anxiety to straight up, because you're going to gratitude. And gratitude as an energy is a very high energy.
yeah,
So when collectively in each house people are functioning from gratitude, everyone has their own space to do their own thing. It's like a holiday. It's
It
good
is.
fun. There are so many. You were talking about
It's an
videos. I
indefinite
mean, there are
holiday.
exactly. There are so many videos where you can see families actually sharing chores,
Yeah.
and that is amazing because otherwise at least I'm yelling and screaming, and all of us are saying it's yours and yours and yours. And then
Yeah.
there are so many videos coming out that someone is cooking, someone is cleaning, and there are Bollywood stars and Hollywood stars showing that they're doing the dishes. It's a lot of fun. So if people moved into the third step and says, okay, what can I be grateful for today, and what can I be grateful for in this time, and what are the opportunities that I can open up for my life today,
Yeah.
it again changes the energy. And then before you know it, there is no fear because then the focus is on gratitude and opportunities, gratitude and
Opportunities. Yeah.
opportunities.
True.
So
True.
then you get up with a different excitement that, okay, I have these few days when I'm not working and I'm not doing specific. What else can I create? Because then maybe once I go back, I'm going to be very busy. So let's use this time to do everything that I wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly. This is even for all those people who've been overworking in past few years. They can take a break now and relax and slow down their
Exactly.
pace and heal. Just as the planet is healing itself, heal yourself. So,
Exactly.
Kim, are there any meditation tips that you would like to share with us? I say meditation again and again because this is the time that we can give to
Yes.
ourselves. We can actually set focus on who we are, go inward and find our strengths. So, this is the reason I
Yes.
said this is the fourth time I said meditation on the video.
This is
So,
perfect time, Nosheen, because again, otherwise people will say, I don't have time, but that's the reason you need to meditate. There's a Zen saying that if you don't have 5 minutes to meditate, then you need to meditate for half an hour because
yes.
that means you've not been giving yourself the right time. So, yes, meditation tips. In fact, if you want, I just recorded a meditation yesterday and I can share it with all your viewers that they can listen to. The
Yes.
base of meditation, and there are many levels of meditation, is first just to start understanding our breath. When
Mm.
someone is born, when we see that they're breathing, we say, oh, the person is born. When someone passes away from the physical world, we say, oh, you're not breathing, and we say they're dead. But and we don't understand that every single day we take so many breaths, but we're not realizing that the breath we take is life. So even if everyone took that time, because we do have the time now, to just deep breathe. Now, yes, it makes you feel relaxed, but what it also does when we go through a deep breathing session, it connects with your body and says, okay, we're really calm. So calm down. It connects with your body and says that, okay, now because I'm breathing deeply, I'm sending oxygen to you. Here is your time to rejuvenate and repair. Because I am breathing deeply, I am telling the breathing is sending the message to the body that says, okay, relax now. So all the what is it called? Your stress hormones will say, okay, the person is calm. So they're not, breathing heavily. So I can stop secreting stress hormones. So automatically your immunity starts rising. So
Okay.
deep
Wow.
breathing
I
itself
did not
has,
think of it that
yeah,
way.
exactly. See, when someone is having a panic attack, what do we tell them? Breathe slowly,
Yeah.
deep breath.
Yes.
When someone is going into labor, we say take a deep breath, otherwise your BP will go high.
Yeah.
Right? In everything that happens, we say take a deep breath. But what
Hmm.
does that breath eventually do? When we start taking deep breaths, we are signaling our body through the language that it understands that everything is fine. All is well.
Yeah. All
We are
is well.
signaling, exactly, we're signaling our body that everything is good. So relax, go back into normal functioning, no need to hassle, start rejuvenating. And then when we get into that habit, it becomes habit.
Hmm.
When we start doing that, then while we're normally interacting, the body has got into a habit of breathing at that pace. And deep breathing, there are two elements to it, if I can offer that right now. One is, very often when we take a picture, at least the women and girls, we say, take a deep breath, and then we pull our stomach in and then we take a picture. But that's
Yes.
the opposite of deep breath, because when you take a deep breath, you're not supposed to pull your stomach in. When you take a deep breath, your stomach, your abdomen should expand because
Okay.
you're breathing in. So, the best way to check whether you are breathing correctly is to put your hand on your belly and say, when I breathe in, what is expanding? Is my chest expanding or is my belly expanding? If your belly is expanding, that means yes, we're breathing right. If you're not, then we consciously say, okay, I have to breathe and let the oxygen go right inside so that my abdominal area expands. So that's one. The second aspect of deep breathing, and this is the one that is really very therapeutic, is to control your breath. And a lot of us learn that in pranayam, right? So you take a breath in, and this is there in the meditation. You take a deep breath in slowly, you hold it, then you release it, and then again you pause. So your body is holding the breath, it is slowly releasing, and then your body is staying without oxygen for the time. So what it's doing is it's developing everything, all your organs and all your the entire mechanism of breathing. So the lung capacity is learning how to expand, how to release, how to stay. So that again improves our immunity. That
And
again
it makes a
improves
person
our,
more
of
conscious of
course,
the
very
process.
conscious. Exactly. And all these things, Nausheen, once just by breath work, when we start balancing and focusing, it automatically begins to connect the left and the right hemisphere of the brain.
Yeah,
When the left and right hemisphere of the brain, the reason we have two hemispheres is so that we use both the hemispheres. One is about logical analytical thinking, and the other one is our creative aspect, is our connection to the universe, to God, to our own soul. So when we do the deep breathing, and when we do the anilom vilom and all of that, we connect every single aspect from the left hemisphere to the right hemispheres. The In yoga it's called the nadis get activated, all the nerve endings coming out of the spine, which are in thousands, all of those get activated. So something as basic as breath is so powerful. And that itself, even if nothing else is done and only just a pure deep breathing exercise is done 5 minutes a day, people will begin to feel that grounding, to feel that security, to
exactly.
feel that, okay, here's where I don't have control on what's happening outside, but I have control within my house. And let's just
On
take
my
care of
life,
what's
on what's happening to me.
exactly. So
Mm.
what's
And
happening to
it's
me,
just
what's
five
happening.
minutes exercise, not more, just five
Yeah.
minutes.
And the minute you do that, then you get into a habit that if you're watching TV, you're like, feels so good, right? That habit gets formed. That's the entire intent, that we start creating good habits in this time.
Yeah,
And like I said, the meditations I will record and put it up for everybody in the group, that everyone can go ahead and access it,
sure.
use it whenever they want to, use it before they sleep, send it to their friends and family around the world. And yes, the minute we start healing, the energy of the earth also heals, because what we feel is what we put out, and what we put out
Exactly.
is what we get. So if we are feeling fear, we're putting the same energy out to people in our house, people in our neighborhood, and the energy of the earth. And then what is the earth going to give us back is things to be fearful about. That's the base of even manifesting. But when we've put in that energy that, okay, I'm going to breathe in, I'm going to be calm, what's in my control is what I'll take care of, I'll be conscious and I'll be aware, and I'll use this as my opportunity and be grateful for so many things. That's the same energy that we kind of create, and then we get it back tenfold.
Amazing. We all need to realize this.
I think that it
Only
is
then,
realizing,
yeah.
if you see it, everyone is realizing that. Everyone's coming out, the way people are connecting, the way people are supporting. It's so beautiful. It's like literally off a movie.
Yeah, it's
That
very
same,
different now.
yeah,
Like,
it's
I
just
never
amazing.
imagined that instead of sitting with you, I'll be recording it on the applications.
I know, because for such a long time we've all felt, oh,
Yeah.
let's meet, and then timings don't match, and everyone's trying to create,
Yeah.
schedules. And today we're like, okay, let's talk, let's figure it out, let's do it, and let's just get it out there. We're creating
Eventually,
ease.
we did it.
The ease of the energy is creating more ease in our lives, and saying, don't
Exactly.
complicate stuff,
And I
just
see
do
that
it.
everybody, all coaches, all business owners, all professionals, they're all doing their bit to make things easy for everyone around them. And I see so many
Exactly.
posts on social media that are so useful. It's amazing. Actually, I'm enjoying my time at the moment, and I believe that more people will be able to do that as well. Thank you so much, Kim, for being with me
Been a
today. And
pleasure.
we will do a few more episodes with Kim where she will share more secrets that she knows and we don't know.
Sure, sure. Very happy to share that.
All right. Thank you so much and
Thanks
stay
a
connected.
ton. Yes. Bye bye.